do a lot of our cleans, as well as our bench press. And, one of the things that I've learned with high school kids is that, especially with where we're at in South Alabama, even where you're at, over there in Baton Rouge, Fridays, there are a lot of kids and a lot of parents that, they'll be going to the beach.
Yeah, they take off.
Check out early. And the one thing that high school boys never want to miss, they never want to miss bench press day.
Yeah.
So put bench press on Friday, because if you put heavy squats on Friday, they ain't showing up on Friday. You're not seeing them after the bell rings on Thursday. Put bench press on Friday, and they'll be there. And that's the way it is. But that's that's the system that I found that works really well for us and for our situation right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The Southern lifestyle, and that's what I'm going to call it, the Southern lifestyle. With the weather the way it is here, Fridays were always a challenge as long as we were in the off season, and when I was a high school coach or a college coach, if there's not a game or something there to do on the weekend, those guys are going to the beach, they're going to the fishing camp, they're going to the hunting camp, they're going duck hunting, or they're going to New Orleans, to the city for something. So that's what they call New Orleans, the city, So there was, the Southern lifestyle, the weekends are for play, man. And, Louisiana's called the sportsman's paradise, and that South Alabama's no different, man. There's so much to do there on the weekend. So you program your bench press on Friday. So sun's out, guns out.
Yes. Everybody wants to get that pump before they go to the beach.
Yeah. Or if you're holding up some big red snappers or a big amberjack, you want to make sure that your arms look good in that picture. Or if you're holding up a stringer full of ducks. Yeah.
Yep.
That good old Southern lifestyle.
Yep. And that's the way we have, with a lot of our kids. It's like, okay, hunting season's getting ready to start over here. And we got some kids that are starting to get twitchy, and they'll go hunting in the morning and then come to school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Boy, do I have some stories for that. Yeah. Well, so I'll give you a neat story. So my oldest son, Clay, out of high school, he signed at a junior college to play baseball. LSU, because he had his only SEC offer out of high school was at Missouri. So we took a trip to Missouri, and it was just too far from home. And the LSU baseball staff said, if you go to LSU E and you do a good job there, we'll recruit you and sign you here. So Clay, and LSU E the E stands for Eunice, Louisiana, and it's out west where they have all the rice fields and stuff. So Clay had some teammates there that were from Catholic High that he was going to school with. And they told him, says, look now, Clay told me this. It was funny. He goes, Dad, I'm pre-registering for classes. And Romero said that I shouldn't sign up for a class before 9 a.m. in the morning, but I want to get my classes done early so I got time to go work out and I can eat and then go to practice. And I said, well, all right, we'll do it. And he goes, well, he told me if I have a class before 9, I won't ever go because of duck hunting. And I was like, what? And he goes, oh, yeah, everybody goes hunting in the morning before school. And so, even the coaches say, if you're going to go hunting, do not register for a class before 9 a.m. because you're going to miss it. And if you miss it, you got punishment running, Yep. So that's the way it was. So Clay, the whole time he was at Eunice, he never had a class before 9 a.m. because they were going to go hunting or do something, in the mornings before class all the time. And there we go again. So you're big into, let's get back to training here. Sorry for the digressing there. But I'm big. That's why I never left here, man, because I dig the Southern lifestyle, man. But anyway, so you talked about single leg movements. So so the unilateral work is important for y'all, and you do a lot of different variations. What are some of the other things that you do? Some of those single leg variations. What are some of those?
Well, so we'll do our Hatfield split squats, Hatfield backward lunges. we'll do a regular split squat, in a front rack position, bar on the back, with the straight bar. I've got landmine attachments on all of my weight storage units. So I'll have them, lean into that bar and get a lateral squat, and then I'll have them go to a lateral lunge. I've even had them do a split squat where they're leaning into that bar, doing a split squat there. And then I have them do a backward lunge where they're leaning into that laterally.
Yeah.
So you can work on, and what I've found, and I don't have the data to prove it, but I know what I see with my kids is that when I've started having my kids be able to train and be able to get their body into this position, all of a sudden going into and out of cuts, our guys are exploding out of them because they can get into that position. They feel it. To where I'll have them lean into that weight, lean into that bar, and they'll step back with their outside foot. They'll step back with their inside foot at first. That way it's a traditional cut off that inside edge. And then as they get more comfortable with it, I'll cycle it in to where they're stepping back with that outside foot. And then, then they're on the inside edge they're on the outside edge of that foot that's closest, to the weight storage unit. And I mean, I do a lot of stuff like